Good morning, everybody. How you doing? I just figured after the video I made last night that was live stream, I figured I'd make one that was really down to earth. I was playing my traditional Cherokee 5-hole flute made out of Spanish cedar and thought I would share a bit of a song. And I'd like to share with you a little bit of a story that I had shared with my friend Mr. George Bruno in an email. And given a lot of things that have been going on, I just feel the need to share this with each and every single one of you. And it is a traditional Cherokee story. Now, I did not learn of this story the old traditional way orally. I learned of this story from a book I read and that was gifted to me. It was a book of a collaboration of many traditional Cherokee stories and stories of people's personal experiences. And I've learned so much from this book. And the story is called The Boy and the Rattlesnake. Let me throw on some mood setting music here. Anyways, I dedicate this video and this story to all the elders that have taught me something about the good red road. Some Christian people call it the Christian road. And I also dedicate it to the children all over the world and for those that are young at heart and for those that carry a good heart and never forget it. Anyways, the story goes like this. There was a boy who was running through the woods, and he was running as fast as he could. And all of a sudden in the woods, he heard a voice holler out, "Hey boy! Hey boy!" He stopped and he looked around to see who was calling his name. And all of a sudden he looked down at his feet. And there at his feet, laid next to a tree, was curled up a rattlesnake. And see, back in these days, man and animal could speak to one another because they had that type of connection. Before things of this world, this modern day world, took over. And he looked down and he said, "Are you talking to me?" And the snake said with a hiss, "Yes." And he said, "What do you want?" And the snake said with a hiss, "Why are you running so fast through the woods? Is somebody after you? Is someone chasing you?" And the boy replied to the snake saying, "No, I am trying to run to the highest peak so that I can watch the sunset." And the snake replied with a hiss, saying, "Can I go with you? Will you pick me up and take me with you so that I may see the sunset too? For I cannot see it, for I am so low on the ground, and the trees cover the sky." And the boy replied, saying, "No, if I pick you up, you will bite me." And the snake said with a hiss, "I will not bite you. I promise, I give you my word. If you pick me up, I will not bite you. If you carry me to the highest peak with you, I will not bite you at all. I promise, I'll give you my word." And after a while, the snake pleading with the boy began to look up and started noticing that the sun had started to almost set. And so finally, the boy agreed and took the snake at his word. And so he picked up the rattlesnake carefully, and he began to run again to the highest peak. And he sat upon the highest peak, and he watched the sun set. And as the sun began to just reach right above set behind the trees. The boy looked at the snake and said, "Well, I must go now before it gets completely dark. I must go back home to my lodge." And the rattlesnake said with a hiss, "Take me with you back to your lodge, so that I may be, and set me before your fire so that I may be warm for the night. And in the morning I will crawl back to my den, for it is dark and I cannot see at night that well, and predators might get me." And the boy said to the snake, "I don't know about that. You might bite me in my sleep." And the snake said with a hiss to the boy, "I have not bit you yet, and I have kept my word. And I promise you now, if you take me with you back to your lodge and set me before the fire, I will not bite you. I promise. I have kept my word this far, haven't I?" And the boy thought to himself, well, the snake has kept his word. And so the boy carefully picked him up into his arms, and he took him back to his lodge. And he placed him in front of the fire of his lodge and made a place for the snake to curl. And then the boy himself lay down in his lodge for the night. In the morning, the boy awoke, and he saw the snake not. And he figured that the snake had went back to his den, just as the rattlesnake had said. The boy got up and he gathered his things to go out into the forest to gather stuff. And as he walked out the doorway of his lodge, he felt two striking pains upon his heel. And as he looked down, the rattlesnake had came at him again, twice, again on the heel. And he cried out in pain. And he looked at the snake and said, "You've killed me. Why did you bite me? You gave me your word that you would not bite me." And the rattlesnake curled up. And the rattlesnake said with a hiss, "You knew what I was before you picked me up." And the boy fell down upon the ground, and he died. And the old rattlesnake crawled off back into the woods, back to his den. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, this story is a wonderful story because, in my interpretation of what I get from this story, is this. It's a story about the way life really is. It's a story about how we should always be careful who we trust. We should always be careful of who is really a smooth talker. And we should always be leery of those that we know that might make promises and never keep them. It's also a story of those, for those that have made a lot of mistakes in life and for some reason keep making the same mistakes. And if we're not careful, those same mistakes just might be fatal or harmful to our lives in any situation. And there's always a reason why Creator, Lord thy God, always takes people out of your life for a reason. And we should not go back to those people that Creator had taken out of our lives. There is always a reason. Whether we need to better ourselves, separate ourselves from those people. Because you never know, they just might be like the old rattlesnake. Promise you this and promise you that. And next thing you know, they'll strike at your heel. So take care, my friends out there in this world. Be leery. Be prayerful. Don't always trust everybody, because not everybody out there in the world is your friend. Not everybody out there in the world has your best interest at heart. Always have faith and put your trust in God and your faith in Christ. And until next time, may each and every single one of you be blessed, wherever you are at in this world. And I'd like to say thank you to all the fans. Thank you to all the future fans. Thank you to all the lurkers. May you all be blessed. Until next time. And I hope you all enjoyed this little story. Wherever you're at in this world, may you be blessed.